Hit the rollie stove with the rollie on. What was our getaway car? A Jag portfolio. You hear me? Hey, I heard I had some sneak dissers. Whoever feeling hot, that AR got a heat sense.
Yo guys, what is up? It's your boy, the Baller24, aka J-Rock, bringing you a different kind of video here on this channel. We're doing an NFL Week 2 recap stream. Well, not really a stream, guess a recording, guess video, guess, I don't know. Doing a lot of guessing, obviously. But as you can see on the screen, you can see that we're going to go break down, each matchup from this past week in the NFL. And it was definitely an interesting weekend. But it all got started on Thursday night. Texans-Bengals. Texans, didn't look good. Got obliterated against the Jacksonville Jaguars team. At home? Nah, I think Jacksonville was actually home. But they got absolutely destroyed. Tom Savage looked awful. The Texans defense, they kind of looked bad because the offense looked bad. It just didn't look like Houston was going to be that team to be in the AFC South, which coming into the season, we knew they didn't have a quarterback, but that defense is so strong. We thought, they just figure it out along the way. And Thursday night, they had to prove that. They played a Cincinnati Bengals team that was coming off of an L also. And it ended up being kind of like a defensive struggle. But in the end, Deshaun Watson, he's kind of got that it factor. Something that we saw with the Tebows of the world. He didn't have amazing stats in this game. As we can go take a look at him real quick. We can go look at the rookie real quick. Ah, stop, Mom. What time? Mom's distracting me. Anyway, 15 of 24, 125 yards, no touchdowns, no picks, but it's what he did with his legs. 5 carries, 67 yards, and a touchdown. That 49-yard run, electrifying that team, electrifying that defense. And when it was all said and done, Andy Dalton had a chance to take his team down the field and win the game, but that Houston Texans defense held him. And Andy Dalton has not looked good. Andy Dalton has not looked like the quarterback that we thought he could be and that he had been in the past. 29.1 QBR in this game. Just honestly terrible. Cincinnati does not look good. Week 3, I think they play the Green Bay Packers. So not looking good for the Bengals this year. Looking at an 0-3 start. Texans get a win. 13-19. Deshaun Watson, he has that it factor, something about him. He's actually been able to get the ball to DeAndre Hopkins as well, which is another plus for that team. Then we go on to my team, Philadelphia Eagles taking on Kansas City Chiefs. We all know what the Chiefs did in Week 1. Went into Foxborough as the Patriots were getting rings and celebrating that championship, and they slaughtered New England. New England decimated by injuries. We'll get to New England in a little bit, but the Chiefs, impressive. Alex Smith's looking like a quarterback that's not, checking down. He's actually making throws, making plays when his team needs it, and that is going to go a long way for the Kansas City Chiefs. And in this game against the Eagles came off the win against Washington. They look very stout on defense. Wentz made that one mistake through that pick 6, but he's, in actuality, Carson Wentz has impressed. Kind of like, well, actually better than he looked through 3 weeks of last season. He's throwing the ball down the field. He's not afraid to take shots. And yes, he did have a pick in this game, a costly interception for the Eagles. Got tipped up in the air, intercepted by the D-lineman Chris Jones. But Wentz has looked good. 25 or 46, 333 yards, 2 touchdowns. Did throw the pick. Not an absolutely great completion percentage, but against Kansas City, that's a performance you want to see from Wentz. But enough about the Eagles. This Chiefs team, oh my lord, they have something special in Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt is the truth. He is the truth. And then Travis Kelce, those two guys literally kept the Eagles from this game. Kareem Hunt had a big run. 2 big runs, actually. Both of his touchdown runs. The one he bursted out for a touchdown was like a 50-yard touchdown. And then on the goal line, he carried a defensive tackle into the end zone and stretches the ball in. Kareem Hunt is something special. And Travis Kelce, that shovel pass, he kind of rode the Eagles into the end zone. And he's just a man of great passion, great emotion. I wasn't really feeling that celebration, though, Travis Scott. Can't lie to you, but the Chiefs looking really good. They get the win at home. But the Eagles, it's looking up for us. We look pretty good. We're tied atop the NFC East. And we'll go from there. We play the Giants at home. Look to get that dub. Now, on to the Cardinals-Colts. Cardinals, I don't know what's wrong with this team. I don't get it. Last week, they took a loss to the Lions team after being spotted a 17-point lead, pretty much. And they lost that game. And You know, a lot of it's got to fall back on Carson Palmer. Carson Palmer's starting to show signs of old age. He's not really making the throws he needs to make, and he's not moving this team down the field. And with them losing David Johnson in week 1, can this Cardinals team, you know, a team that we're used to seeing in the playoffs, can they get back to that? And right now, actually, the answer is yes, because they get this win against the Colts in overtime. Jacoby Brissett came out. He looked pretty impressive. He looked like he could be the guy for the Colts, and he's probably going to be the guy until they get Luck back. But the Colts, without Luck, they're in trouble. T.Y.'s not making any plays, but Carson Palmer did show up late in this game. Helped get this game in overtime, and then Honey Badger in overtime. First play of overtime, gets the interception, setting up that game-winning field goal from Phil Dawson. Yet Cardinals, because of how bad the rest of the division has been, then the Cardinals are fine right now. They just got to find their offense, got to find their identity, got to get back, because the defense made plays. The defense kept them in this game, and this is a game that could have got away from the Cardinals, and they could be 0-2, but defense wins championships, and they showed up for them in a big way. New England Patriots, New Orleans Saints, down in Louisiana. Patriots respond. And was there any doubt, though? Was there any doubt that this team was going to respond? Like, Tom Brady, 3 touchdowns in the first quarter of that game. One to Gronk, I think Hogan and Rex Burkhead were the other 2 recipients. And Mike Gillislee looking like he's playing the LeGarrette Blount more very well. The Patriots offense looks back. It's humming. Hopefully Gronk's okay with that groin injury. Saints, it's the same song and dance for Drew Brees every year. His defense just isn't good enough. And it's going to keep Drew Brees, like the last remaining years of Drew Brees' career is going to be spent on a losing team. And it's kind of sad to say that, because I think Drew Brees is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He puts up the numbers. He did get that ring with the Saints, but that defense, they just can't stop a nosebleed. They are terrible. They give 36 points to the Pats, which, you know, it's New England, but can't like the Saints going forward. But the Patriots, they look good. They look back on track. They got to get healthy for the postseason, because there's no doubt the Patriots are going to the playoffs. On to the Steelers. Vikes playing without Sam Bradford, had to start Scott Tolzien, and it hurt them. They couldn't move the ball. And Big Ben, you know, did what Big Ben did. He managed a very nice game, 243 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Le'Veon Bell ran it decently, you know, better than he ran it against the Browns at least. Martavis Bryant showing he could be that deep threat receiver. 3 catches for 91 yards and a touchdown. And the Steelers roll. Vikings defense, it's looked good, but they just couldn't move the ball against Pittsburgh. If you can't move the ball against Pittsburgh, you're in trouble, because that's not a top defense in the National Football League. But, you know, Vikings, when they get Sam Bradford back, they actually have a big game coming up this week. I think they are host to, give me 1 second. Had to get my sheet. They're host to Tampa Bay, and they're home. So I kind of like them to win that game if Sam Bradford is quarterbacking. If not, it could be a little dicey. We go on to the Bears. The Bears took the defending NFC champions to the wire. Should have probably won that game. The Bears should have won last week. Falcons catch a bad break, some drops close to the end zone, one in the end zone, and the Bears go to 0-1. And I was one of the people expecting them to, you know, follow that performance up and, you know, come out here against a Tampa Bay team who didn't have a week 1 game. Mike Glennon playing his former team. I was one of the people saying, hey, the Bears got to come into this game hungry, because they just showed they can compete with the Falcons. They got to win this. They got to keep it close. At least I thought it would be. But the Bucks roll. Mike Glennon played awful against his former team. Look at that stat line. 31 completions on 45 attempts with 301 yards and a touchdown. But the interceptions he threw, and he just wasn't very good until that game was out of reach. Chris Rogers gets a touchdown for Tampa Bay. He looked good. If you have him in fantasy, I know you're pretty happy about that. Mike Evans looked good. What a catch he had to open that game up in the end zone. But the Buccaneers dominate. The defense took advantage of Mike Glennon. Mike Glennon, I expected him to play much better against his former team, but obviously he's just scared. Clearly. Next up, we got the Panthers and the Bills, and this one was kind of a snoozer. Like, no offense at all. No touchdowns in this one. Bills come away with the loss. Tyrod almost tried. Well, he did try. He tried to take his team down the field to win, and he was moving the ball a little bit. But they get stopped. Panthers defense comes up big. Cam Newton, though. I thought Cam Newton was prepared to bounce back. I was on his bandwagon. And Cam, overthrew Christian McCaffrey for a touchdown. Cam hasn't looked good early in the season, through 2 weeks at least. Kelvin Benjamin has looked good. He had to leave that game with an injury, but Kelvin Benjamin looks like he's going to be there. The Panthers, the big story in this one, the Panthers losing Greg Olsen for 6 to 8 weeks. How will this shake up the offense that hasn't really been performing? And the Carolina this week, they got another tough game. They play the Saints. It's a divisional matchup. They are home. And the Saints, they have that potent offense. So they're able to put up some touchdowns, and Cam can't. Could be a rough game for them. Then we go to the Titans and the Jags. Titans take the loss to the Raiders in week 1, but they bounce back in a big way. 37-16. And Jacksonville, yeah, that performance against the Colts. I mean, not the Colts. Who'd they play? The Texans. I think it was a fluke, honestly. Major fluke. Jaguars probably will finish near the bottom of this division, depending on when Andrew Luck gets back. I do not like Jacksonville at all. Blake Bortles is the reason. He's so inconsistent. So inconsistent. He plays from behind a lot. And, yeah, Jacksonville looking not too stellar against the Titans. Titans dominate. Big blowout. Look, Derrick Henry, big story in this game. 14 carries, 92 yards, 1 touchdown. I think DeMarco went out with like an injury, or he was injured. And Derrick Henry taking full advantage. He looks like he's going to be a stud of a running back for the Titans. And they're going to keep, the coach came out and said they're going to keep that 1-2 combination humming. But yeah, Blake Bortles is trash. Titans roll. Titans, they're trying to compete for that division. They got to win games like that. And yeah, they win in a big way. Then we go to the Browns, Ravens. Browns, tough loss they took last week. This week, they lose DeShone Kizer to a migraine headache mid-game. Didn't really matter because, Ravens pretty much controlled this game. Joe Flacco played very, very well. Jervoris, Buck Allen, he ran the ball well. And Cleveland, I hate to say it, but they're still not where they need to be as far as competing in this league yet. Ravens handled them pretty handily. Like I said, Flacco was great in this one. And the Ravens, 2-0 start. Looking good for Baltimore early. Looking like they can possibly win this division. Going to come down between them and Pittsburgh. And we all know those games are very exciting, very thrilling. So keep your eye out for the Ravens this year. I expect this team to make the playoffs, actually, because that defense is so good. The Ravens' defense is so good. They're kind of an underrated defense, so to speak. They don't get a lot of the praise, but very good Ravens defense. Sorry. Speaking of the Raiders, they played the Jets this week, and was there ever any doubt that the Raiders would handle the Jets? It was kind of dicey. It was a 3-point game at halftime, but the Raiders in the second half came out and rolled. The Jets are awful. There's nothing positive to say about the New York Jets right now. They lose a noon one. They just don't have the talent on offense nor defense to compete. The Jets would be lucky to win a game this season. That's how bad I think it is. Derek Carr, 23 for 28, 230, passing yards, 3 touchdowns. Marshawn Lynch ran it well. Jalen Richard ran it well. I think all the Raiders running backs scored a touchdown this week. Oh, no, I'm lying. But they did make big plays. Freaking Michael Crabtree. Oh, my Lord. Actually, I think all the Raiders... Well, anyway, the Raiders, they dominate. Michael Crabtree, 3 touchdowns in this one. Michael Crabtree is a freak, especially down on the goal line. So hard to stop. Raiders, 2-0. They play a road game this week against the Redskins. Should be interesting. Should be an interesting game. I expect the Raiders to get that win and move to 3-0, but we'll be here next week. We'll revisit the conversation. Now, Dolphins, Chargers. Dolphins, they... dealing with the hurricane, didn't get to play their week 1 game against Tampa Bay. Took a bye week. They played the Chargers. Chargers could have sent that game against Denver in the overtime last week and capitalized off of the mistakes that the Denver Broncos made that almost could have lost them that game. But Young Hoku gets his kick blocked, and this one comes down to a kick also that is missed by Young Hoku. You cut your kicker to bring in this rookie, and he... kind of choked a little bit. He made his kick last week, but it gets blocked. This one he just flat out missed. Coach is sticking with his rookie. But the Chargers, they had a chance to put this game away. Had a chance to put this game away in the fourth quarter. Not like Miami get the ball back. Couldn't pick up the first down that they needed. Credit Jay Cutler coming out off of retirement, going down the field, taking his team down the field, getting a touchdown late in that one to take the lead. And yeah, Phillip did his job, got his team in the field goal range, just missed. Young Hoku looking like young Noku. As I get an ESPN update, actually, it's for fantasy. I took a W. Yeah, I take W's, man. Keenan Allen looking good, coming back off an injury, but yeah, just missed kick. Dolphins made plays, and that's why they came out with this name. Made plays when they had to. Chargers didn't. They lose by 3. Tough break. We go to the Denver Broncos and the Cowboys, and I loved watching all of that ass whooping that the Dallas Cowboys took 42-17. Dak Prescott threw the ball 50 times. If Dak Prescott is throwing the ball 50 times, the Cowboys are going to be in a similar situation like this. Doesn't happen often. Hasn't happened at all. But Denver's defense, you know how stout it is. They dismantle Zeke. Zeke had 9 carries for 8 yards or 8 carries for 9 yards. Zeke was terrible. C.J. Anderson ran it well. Trevor Siemian played extremely well. If he continues to keep up that level of play, look for Denver in February to be playing in the Super Bowl. Cowboys, nothing really of interest in that game. Jason Witten had a good game, but it was mostly come from behind effort. Cowboys take the loss. Didn't look good. But that's what that Denver defense can do to you. And they kind of exploited, Dallas. They've been able to master defense, so to speak. They couldn't hide in that one. Then we go to staying in the NFC East. We got the Redskins and the Rams. Redskins get a W after the loss they took to the Eagles last week to even everyone up in the top of the NFC East, except for the Giants, who we're going to get to in a second. But that was a pretty exciting game. The Rams just couldn't stop the run, and that's why they couldn't come up with the W. Kirk Cousins didn't really play, too well, but in the end, he got that touchdown pass to Ryan Grant, and, Jared Goff tried to take his team down the field. Didn't happen. Ended up getting intercepted by Mason Foster to put a damper on that. But Gerald Everett looking like the man a little bit for the Rams. Looked like he got some chemistry. Cooper Kupp as well. Jared Goff, it looks like he made a little bit of a stride from week 1, but interception he threw was actually horrible. Look, Todd Gurley has really bounced back for the Rams. That's a good sign for Rams fans. They need that guy if they're going to win games. Like I said, they're in a tough division. It's going to be hard for them to finish near the top. They probably won't finish near the top, but Todd Gurley playing well is always a plus if you're a Rams fan. Redskins get the win. They were just pounded it down the Rams' throat. It was disgusting. It was disgusting because I had Kirk Cousins fan. It was disgusting. We go to the Seahawks and the 49ers. Seahawks, their offense, where is it? I cannot find it. Russell Wilson, he's notorious for having these slow starts on the season, and it's evident here in this one again. They win 12-9. Took a late Russell Wilson touchdown actually to take the lead late, and then the defense able to snuff out the 49ers. But a 12-9 win for the Seahawks. Like I said, their defense looks really good. Their offense is missing, and I tell you something right now. If you come up against a team that can score points, no matter how good your defense is, your offense is going to have to be able to score some type of points. 12 points against a 49ers team, not good, not looking too good for the Seahawks early. 49ers, not really much to say. Carlos Hyde looks like a beast, though. He's come out strong to start the season, but they just do not have enough competing in this division. Also, too hard for the Rams and 49ers, I think, to, compete. But right now, they're hanging around. Stop tickling me! Stop! Anyway, we go to the Packers and the Falcons, and Packers without Bakhtiari and Bulaga. And yeah, when 2 all-pro left or tackles on your team are missing in action, Aaron Rodgers is in trouble, and your team's in trouble because Atlanta, they're a high-powered offense. They got a clutch win last week against the Bears, a game that I think, they should have probably lost, but Devonta Freeman ran all over the Packers. Julio was just, every catch he had was 20-yard gain. Seemed like they can't, he's so hard to guard, and the Packers, he's literally like the kryptonite. He creates so much matchup problems that Freeman, Coleman, Sanu, you saw Sanu in this one, Taylor Gabriel, they're able to go out there and just make plays. Matt Ryan making the right decision with the ball. And Aaron Rodgers, shaky first half in that game, threw an interception that he probably shouldn't have thrown that set up a touchdown or a field goal for the Falcons. I think it was a touchdown, actually. And then the fumble 6, also for Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is an amazing player, but without his O-line, without any protection on Rodgers, he took a mean hit from Vic Beasley in this one. The Packers, they won't win. They won't win. They have to figure it out. The defense actually wasn't absolutely. I know 34 points is you're saying, wow, they didn't play well defensively, but you know, when the offense wasn't able to get it going in the first half, the Falcons took advantage. It was a 24-7 game at the half. So not much you can do there. Not much Aaron Rodgers can do, and they got to get the man some help. But get his tackles back. The Packers will be fine. They will be fine. I think so. With Falcons, obviously, you know, they're trying to restate that dominance. You know, they got a chip on their shoulder after the Super Bowl loss, and they come out and get a big win against the Packers. And then we get to probably my second favorite game of the week, the Giants and the Lions. The Giants. OBJ's back. No Janoris Jenkins, though. And Giants fans, you're looking at 0-3. You go into Link next week, and you don't win this game at home with OBJ back. That O-line is just, it's terrible. I think Ziggy Ansah had like 3 sacks in this one. You know, Amir Abdullah looked good. The Giants give up a special teams touchdown, and Eli Manning. Giants fans, I know you love Eli. I know you do. But we might be seeing a changing of a guard, because behind that O-line, Eli is, what can he do? What can Eli make? He has no protection. It's kind of like the Andrew Luck in Indianapolis situation, but, you know, Eli has no mobility at all. He's standing back there getting hit, getting beat up. And when that's happening, he's not going to be able to throw the ball to OBJ. He's not going to be able to throw the ball to Shepard. He's not going to be able to throw it downfield to Ingram. Brandon Marshall's actually looked awful for the Giants. He actually he had a drop on that drive, which made the Giants punt, and then they gave up the special team touchdown. So Brandon Marshall looking like not quite the free agency acquisition. But that wraps it up for week 2 in NFL. Looking forward to week 3. If you guys want to see me do more videos like this one, drop a like, drop a sub. Road to 100 subs, man. We're going to get there one day. I'm going to just keep grinding, you know. I got to find stuff like this to have fun. I kind of like the commentary role. I like doing videos like this. I was thinking about doing a podcast, but why not just drop YouTube videos on it? These guys, I mean, probably be about 20 minutes, and yeah, if you like football talk, you'll watch, and hopefully you guys do enjoy it. Like I just said, subscribe and like if you enjoy. Until next time, it's your boy the Baller24, aka J-Rock. Love y'all. Till next time, I'm out of here. Can I dab? I can't dab because I'm lying down on my bed. Sorry. GG. I'm out. Peace.